the solution is, well, let's just hire a bunch more people, because then we're not going to have a backlog. We'll have more people working, we'll get through it, but I don't think that that's the way to go right now. And so how am I going to pay for these things? The way I'm going to pay for them, and this is a little complicated, and frankly the reason why people hate government. 50% of every dollar that you spend at the recorder's office when you record a document goes to Columbus. That is something I'm going to fight, because that money doesn't come back here. At least nowhere near the percentage that we send down. That has got to stop, and that's something I'm going to fight against. Now, the amount that stays is divided up into two groups. One goes to the county general fund. The general fund is what's used to fund all of the county offices, and then another portion goes to the equipment fund. Now, the equipment fund is a pot of money that has been accumulating, and accumulating, and accumulating, and it can't be spent on anything except equipment. And that's really frustrating when you're dealing with issues that aren't necessarily equipment related. But that money is sitting there. And if we can use that money today to put in improvements to the office to get the job done better, faster, cheaper, then that is an investment we can make so that we don't need any more general fund money. We don't need any more taxpayer money, and we can put that money to use working for you so that we don't need to dig into your pocket anymore. And frankly, my goal would be to do the job for so little that we can send money back to you in the form of a tax reduction, any number of different ways. But that's my goal. That's up to the commissioners to execute. I don't have a say in that, but that's what I'm working toward.
It looks like we have at least one question.
Okay, why are you so good looking? No, I'm sorry, that's not it.
Gee, Greg, I knew you liked me, but...
He's married. Calm down whoever you are out there. No. Have you ever taken a position on an issue and later changed your stance? What issue and why, if you have?
Have I ever changed my position? No, I mean, nothing springs to mind. Nothing that I've really felt one way one day and something else another day. What you see is what you get with me. Now, thank you.
That was her.
Now, I will say this, I am not perfect. So if you have an issue with the recorder's office as we move forward, and you say, Jason, you're doing this wrong, I'm not going to be offended, I'm not going to be afraid to change. So I am available to you today. I will be glad to give any of you my card. I have enough cards to go around. When you go out in the hall, you'll see I have notepads, I have bumper stickers, I have literature. On all the notepads is my email address. That email address isn't going to change after the election. So I want to be accessible today and in the future. And my pledge to you is, if we mess up and you call us on it, I hope you will call us on it, we will fix it. Because I am not perfect, and I'm sure that none of the folks in my office will be, so if we can make things better with your help, I think that's all part of it. This is supposed to be a government of, by, and for the people.
Okay, so at this time we haven't any other questions.
You can just shout them out, by the way. I mean, I don't mean to step on your toes, but if you got questions, I'm not afraid. You just yell them out to me. Now, not everybody at once. Take your turn one at a time.
I think we're going to go ahead and go to closing remarks. I believe that you'll be available for folks to talk to afterwards, so we have 2 minutes now for your closing remarks.
Okay. Now, I know in closing remarks, I am supposed to talk about myself and give you one final pitch on why you should vote for me, but I don't want to do that because I care about a lot that is going on in this country right now, and I think you can see that in some of my answers to the questions that I asked. So what I'm going to say to you is something that I'm sure you've heard before, but I truly believe this is the most important election of our lifetimes. And I am not just here talking to you tonight. I'm a member of this organization. I've been coming to meetings since the third meeting the group ever had. I have missed a few as the campaign has gone on, so I apologize for that. And I'll probably miss a few more between now and November. But this is an important group. I am proud to be a member, and I hope that every one of you in here gets involved. Go door to door if you can go door to door. Write letters to the editor if you can write letters to the editor. Talk to your friends and neighbors, because I am afraid that if we don't get this one right, we may not have a chance to fix it. So please, whatever else you do, I hope I earned your vote. I hope you'll want to help me. I hope you'll throw a bumper sticker on your car. But bigger than me, bigger than any of us in this room, we all have to work towards one goal. And I hope you're with me in that. And I hope everyone in here, in addition to being here tonight, I know I'm preaching to the choir, but I hope everyone in here tonight, in addition to being here tonight, will go out there tomorrow and the next day and the next day. Voting starts in less than 100 days. So if you dedicate yourself to this election for a relatively short period of time, we can change America, we can change history. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Walliger. And so all three candidates will be available. In the back, after we finish up, we have a few more announcements that we need to take care of this evening. And don't forget to cast your straw poll ballots, because we like to get some feedback on what you thought of the candidates. Yeah. And Greg is going to have some comments on the door-to-door visitation.
Yeah, it's really good, to show up at meetings and to chair positions you like and ask questions. But none of that is going to necessarily affect anything that's happening out in the world. And I think we need to do that. I think we need your idealism and your commitment and your input. So what we're doing is we're going door to door, and you can do that for candidates that you support. And we're going to be meeting, we can meet usually 9:30 on Saturday mornings, but you don't have to do it at 9:30. And it's really quite simple. The last time I went out was with Marge Bryant. Marge, are you here? No, she's not here. It was really, excuse me? Oh, he's going to say something, Nancy? No. Oh, I saw your hand go up, and I thought maybe you were going to say she just stepped back. It's very simple, and it's non-threatening. What we're going to do is go out in groups to get you started, like I did all the interaction, the questioning with people. People are quite polite. We asked people, if they supported Obama, and some said they did. And we had some of our most pleasant conversations with those people. They weren't hostile, they weren't nasty, they just said, yeah, I do, and you support the Senator Brown versus, our candidate, well, I should say our candidate, but Josh McDowell, and do you feel for representative, I don't even know who's running against Representative Montreux. We got answers. And we asked them how you feel about the county government, and it was very pleasant. One person had a tiny dog that was jumping about 3 feet high, and we just said, wow, that guy's got quite a jump. And we had a laugh, and we had a pleasant conversation. And they're not ogres, they're not nasty, and they're not really hostile to us. Some people are hostile to being asked questions or anything having to do with politics, and they said, I don't want to have anything to do with it. We said, fine, and you move on. It's not threatening. You don't go to houses that look kind of funky, like they're not being kept up. You don't go in neighborhoods which are at all questionable. If you encounter anything like that, just don't go. We go out in teams. I would like to get larger groups together so we don't have to spend as long. It took us for two of us, about 3 hours to do a precinct. But if we had more people, it would take a lot less. I'm going to be down in front. Anyone who is interested, let me know, and it doesn't have to be, this Saturday, but if you're interested in participating, and I'll give you a phone call. I'll probably give you a phone call anyway, because we're going to be trying to drum people out, but, I'll give you a phone call. Do it, don't do it, it's up to you. If you have family or other obligations, that's fine. But I think that by simply, we pass out literature and talking to people. There are a lot of door hangers and things like that. If people aren't home, you can still leave a little door hanger with just a bag with our endorsed candidates' literature. I think we can help affect something. The polling shows that for every 12 houses you go to,